Hello and welcome to the GLL Nations Royale. We are here. I am Hayes. This is Saint.
Hello.
Hello. And we're here for the GLL Nations Royale, and we have Germany and Greece coming up real soon.
We've been sort of getting very one-sided games so far. Nations Royale, we saw Turkey twice with the hot 3-0 and then the hot 3-0. But now we've got two teams that I think this should be really close.
Yes, yeah. I think Greece has a solid sort of lineup, and obviously Germany. We know a lot of the German players from PEL and all that stuff. The G2 guys, and then lots of other different players from the contenders and all that stuff. So I think it's interesting to see how they prepared for it, because we have seen the veto. I'm not sure if there's a graphic for that, but I think we'll mention it now anyway.
Yeah, but so we're going to get Erangel, Miramar, Erangel.
Yes.
To start off with, obviously Erangel 1. There we go, down at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure who picked what. I think it was Greece Erangel 1. But I look at these two rosters, and I think G2 is sort of carried by Germany is carried by the G2 core. The players that currently play for G2 are the ones that have in the past. And whereas you go to Greece, and there's not necessarily those world-class players on the team, but that entire roster is players that have played at like contenders level. Have played, I think a few of them have played in GLL Season 3, like about a year ago.
Probably
there was a couple in there
yeah.
as well. So unlike the games we've had so far, obviously we had Turkey and Serbia, and then the Turkey-Hungary games, where it was like Turkey was this stacked roster versus two teams where it was like 3 or 4 players. Now we've got this roster full of like world-class players versus this one of sort of the up-and-coming region of Greece.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here you go. Here is the bracket for today. I think we're December 12th, second on the round 3 here, and we are looking at the Greece-Germany match. I think see number 47. Numbers are hard. Obviously, there is a few other teams playing today. You got Ukraine, Russia above us, and then obviously
Good one now.
Turkey and Czechia up on the top there. That's interesting to see. I feel like Turkey's going to take that one too. But
yeah, I'm surprised Czechia even made it this far. I mean, they beat Norway, a region with a lot of players actually in PEL. I think it's something like 10 Norwegians in PEL. So
I think you're right, yeah.
Seeing Norway go out, well, obviously they're not out, they're in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
But seeing them drop out of the upper finals, or the upper bracket so early is a bit of a surprise. And maybe Turkey getting on a sort of easier route to the later rounds. But having to meet Ukraine or Russia next time out is going to be a rough one there.
That's going to be tough, yeah, for sure. But I'm excited to get this underway. I think the match is starting.
Oh,
so getting underway. Yeah, this is going to be Erangel 1.0. So not the one you're used to in Poland matches. This is the old one, the boring one. I feel like.
Yeah, the one we watch in I think PGC they still had Erangel 1 in PEL as well. So maybe favouring the German side, seeing as there are so many PEL players in that roster. They're a little bit more used to playing on the older map.
That's true. That is true, actually. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't changed much, though. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I mean, there obviously is like a few sort of terrain changes in terms of like there's new trenches, and there's just a few other things. But honestly, in my opinion, it hasn't really changed that much.
It's not a complete overhaul of the map that maybe we've. I don't think is there a map that's had a massive overhaul? I'm not really sure.
Not really.
Not one where the core elements of the map, like the bridges and cities, have fundamentally changed. So it's there's not a big gap between them, big enough maybe for the PEL teams to have a big advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's see the playing path there as well. It's pretty interesting. But with the change as well, I don't know, like as we said, there's not much of it.
It's basically just like rocks, dips. There's more trees.
Yeah.
Obviously, we see like the Gaka field had a big overhaul with there's like a forest in the middle of it now.
Yeah, exactly. Just some graphics there.
There we go.
Okay, right. Yeah. So back to the brackets here. But yeah, again, I mean, Finland and Portugal as well. I don't know. Just down at the bottom, just below our match 47. Match 48, I'm not exactly sure how Portugal's going to fare with that one, because there's a lot of...
Off the top of my head, I don't think I could think of a Portuguese competitive player.
Yeah, no.
So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking they've done a mighty fine job to make it to this round. Obviously having to beat Britain, which is a little bit embarrassing for us, and also Spain, who is a region that there's quite a few good players from Spain. So
that's quite interesting. Yeah, because I mean,
a bit of a surprising run.
I mean, it's bad to say this, but I get confused between Portugal and Spain. But they're obviously like neighbors in a sense, and
not literally.
Exactly. And it's interesting to see that there's I guess there's better talent in Portugal apparently. So according to this, which is kind of strange to see.
I think something with this is it's not all about talent. We look at, I mean, Turkey is a very talented roster, but they've dominated the first 2 rounds because of their strategy, because they've come in with an actual game plan. So maybe we see with those regions where they've not necessarily got that mechanical brilliance, where they've come in with a sort of a game plan, and it's maybe working out.
Yeah, that's quite true actually. Yeah, you could be right there. So Greece is out first. They're going towards South George, North George, Gatka, West Coast, and looks like around sort of Pachinki maybe. I feel like that might be the area that they're heading towards.
It looks like the 2 teams are sort of letting each other have their loot. There's not really any. Maybe Kowo is gonna sneak in and.
What is he doing? He's
off. I would expect he's gonna come try and maybe around the farm area.
He's playing pubs.
He's going beyond Pachinki. Imagine if he just goes in and just like 1v8s.
Yeah, I mean, he is hot dropping it right now.
He might be trying to steal a car. Is the only thoughts I can think of.
Maybe. I mean, this isn't competitive settings. This isn't esports mode, is it?
I'm not 100%. I think it's esports mode, but not esports settings.
Maybe he's trying to go for the car, but then realize, there's no car here. That's awkward. Yeah.
There is a car there.
Okay. I mean, it's
that's not the,
that's
not
not
the
the spawn though.
Yeah.
No, that's not the spawn. But he's lucky enough to get the car there. Otherwise, he'd be
nabbed. He's getting shot at. He's got no helmet and no vest, obviously. So like 2 bullets will put him down. You should be able to escape.
Maybe this is like some sort of a plan. I think possibly maybe Greece and Germany have kind of like spoken and said like, right, okay, you guys can have the first part. Like the first part of the plane, we can have the second part. But maybe Kowo's essentially said like, look, I'll steal their their like one of their vehicles or something to just mess them up slightly.
We have one, well, technically 2, but 1 person properly in this circle. Rax on his lonesome in Severny.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wonder if maybe Germany are going to use the fact that they have that information, that it's clear, and try and maybe push in early and take over the center of this map.
Yeah, that would make sense. It was a northern plane, but then again, I mean, we've seen planes be on the south and then shift. The first circle was like north of North George for some strange reason. So the plane path isn't really connected to the circle on these settings anyway. So he was right to go Severny because it is free, but at the same time, I don't think he predicted this.
No, I mean now all these German players can use this entire recent side. They know it's free because obviously he would have been looking around, being the competitive player he is. I think pretty much everyone that has competitive experience now, the first thing they do when they're dropping it is look around for like 30 seconds when they're in the sky. So he should know that, as we see, Mike is going all the way up to shooting range, and Payne's coming to join them. So they should know the entire center of the map's now clear. Or center of the circle, rather. And I expect we're going to see them set up maybe sort of the aeroplane. It's a position that in this is really strong, I think, and maybe even the compound sort of just to the northwest of Rostock.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, if you spread across, I mean, we've seen the fight. I forget who it was against, but it was Turkey versus somebody else.
Hungary, wasn't it?
Hungary, that's one. Yeah, and it was all across this sort of this plain the plain hill, and that was super interesting to watch. So I imagine they might try and set up for the same kind of fight, but maybe control it a bit better than Hungary did.
Yeah, given we have this eastern and western sort of divide, the 2 teams should know that where one of the teams is going to come from. All the Greek players really are going to be coming in west of Rostock. Almost went very wrong there.
Yeah,
but because of that, the German players can, if they can get enough map control on their center of the map, they can sort of create a bit of an impenetrable wall and force the Greek players to be sort of stuck on the edge of the map.
Yeah, exactly. But looks like they're moving in. 3 players from Greece are inside the circle now, so that's something at least. They're on the western side, as you can see, and that is underwater. But they're just chilling, looting, as they do, as anyone already does. As you play this game, you loot, and then you get into the circle, and see what you can sort of find in terms of information. They do have a lot of information already in terms of the German team. So
I'm quite surprised they didn't try to maybe push a bit further west, given the fact that they know none of the Greek players are in this circle when they were dropping. So maybe they're giving a bit too much away to the Greek team, but I can sort of understand the lack of desire to spread out, because if you get a bit of like an 8-man death stack come in, and you're spread out whilst the rest of your team's looting down sort of towards that military area, then there's a potential you could lose some players uncontested. But they're sort of giving the Greeks free reign, and now I expect Greece is going to sort of center up around Mobsy and use the plane and those southern compounds to get some map control.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, you're kind of right in a sense. I'm surprised they didn't really, I guess, spread or take more control or deny space from Greece, because they had the the first advantage in terms of being there. So yeah, it is quite surprising to say that they haven't really taken much ground. But yeah, Greece still flooding into the western southwestern side of the circle. And in fact, I mean, there's a lot more Greek players moving in now compared to German players. You see, actually, a lot of the G2 players still around farm. That's their normal loot spot to where they usually are. So that's quite interesting to see that they're going back to that. But,
yeah, there's sort of a centralization around Severny going on for the German team, which is I mean, the whole problem with that area for me is that there's a lot of low ground. And when you're in the Severny area, all this big hill just to the south of shooting range has so much vision on it, and you can really use that to sort of pin the Germans in. So I want to see them moving a bit further southwest. We see sort of Itzchris now, and the group sort of just to the south of Severny is starting to progress up the hill, but maybe it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, you could be right there. Yeah, there's a lot of control from the Greece side in terms of on the west, and this hill, as you can see on your screen here, lots and lots of blue and white, and they're pushing further north, it seems, to try and get control of this compound just below our camera here. And,
yeah, I expect they're trying to sort of present like an entire wall across the map, because obviously there's a potential that it could go west, and if they can sort of create a big line, create a sort of a front line, I suppose we can put it, then it actually looks like they're trying to sort of clear out the north. There's a big group of players around Paines to his south.
Yeah, Paines. Speaking of Paines, he wants to go and get that crate, but it might be kind of risky because you've got Gecko and Pullman looking over towards it, and
It does look like they spotted him.
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely spot him when the boat's there for sure. The circle does shift, and it goes. I mean, it's pretty much
really favouring anyone.
Yeah, no, it doesn't favour anyone at all. To be honest with you, Pop. I mean, yeah, no one at all. Yeah, look, they spotted it.
I like this setup. There's the opportunity you could blow up a boat and sort of force him to stay in the blue, but it looks like they want to set up, try and guarantee the point.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a flare gunner?
There we go. That instantly killed. So that's that crate stuff gone. There's no getting that, unless you swim out there. But
and that's first blood as well.
Yeah. So
I like what Greece are doing here. They've got sort of a concave going on. It's something that, like in real-time strategies, like in StarCraft, there's this. Concaves are the way you do the most damage because you have the most angles to shoot someone from, and it's a strategy that in something like this is basically a real-time strategy combined with an FPS.
Yeah.
So they're going for that sort of the RTS strategy of creating this concave, forcing all the German players into the middle, and then all that cover in the center of the map, if you can get a proper concave working, just becomes useless.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty impressive to see that the sort of the setup from Greece. Germany do have somewhat of a line of defense as well, sort of center east of the circle. So I feel like Germany has a bit more control, but then again, I mean, you can't really take control of the western shooting range area because it's pretty open and there's only a few dips, not much in terms of cover.
Yeah, that's where the big high ground for the Greek team is really coming into advantage and preventing Germany from getting anywhere close. But I expect maybe we'll see the players south of the shooting range for Germany start to sort of progress a little bit west. Perhaps not on this circle, but on the next one. I think we should see a big engagement on this hill.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. I want to see some kind of push come out on the southern side and possibly even sort of force the fight up to the hills here. Circle is shifting in. It's coming in pretty fast as well. So momentarily we'll see where the next one goes. Boom. Yeah, I mean nothing really
once
crazy
again,
there.
Not favouring anyone. But the Greek team now doesn't have that much control. They have a lot of vision on the centre of the map, but as we were speaking, you can't really play in that area. So I expect maybe we'll see them try and fully take control of the high ground. Given how split up this German team is, you have, I think, more than half the team up in that north side. So if Greece can focus on the hill, on the south, and make this big concerted push, which we see, that is a ridiculously stacked crate.
All right.
But we see that like the whole Greek roster is starting to swing south. You see there's this big movement on the southern side. It's like watching a weather pattern with clouds moving in.
Isn't it? It's like a storm's coming and it's blue and white. But they're all congregating on top of the hill here.
It looks like the Germans are responding. A lot of the players on the north are starting to wrap around as well. So I think we're going to see a big fight on this hill now, and probably the fight for the win in map 1.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wait and see if this turns out to be the fight, I'm sure it will be. They're actually pushing around just further, even more south as well. You've got Givit, who's kind of leading the charge just much further south.
Yeah, but the attack's been spotted now, so I think the German roster is wising up to this big push that's happening. The entire Greek roster is now on this southern hill. Givit's trying to get a bit of an off angle, but really it's all about who can go those initial knocks. Germany on the defensive. I expect that they're potentially going to get a few knocks, but not be able to flush them out. Whereas the Greek team needs to start getting those initial knocks in and then start collapsing on it. Yeah,
exactly. And you see attacked Kygod. He's just off to the east. He's trying to watch the backside, which is smart. He's trying to watch any sort of flank coming around the south and southeast.
There's 31 Greek players right here, within probably 300 meters of each other. Gecko's on his own up at the top, potentially watching for a flank, but everyone else is just in this death stack, just pushing towards the Germans. And there's only so much this German team can do now. I think at this point, everyone is going to come join in the south.
Yeah, it's going to be absolute mad cluster up on the south hill. Circle again, it's going to shift. We'll see if this goes north. Okay, right. Well, that's actually kind of interesting.
The crash is coming in on the south. Yanis's compound's getting hit now.
Oh, here we go.
I think this is Brexco, I presume.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Oh, my Lord. A flood, and actually Chipson takes down his own teammate.
Oh, that's not what you want, that's for sure. Yanis, he's in the compound here. He's hearing all of these gunshots around him, and they're not friendly, that's for sure.
If he stands up, he's going to find multiple people through the window. Gets the initial knock just about, but he can't get anything in return. And all the Greek players are starting to get kills. 4 Germans go down with no reply.
My Lord, Greece.
Nate's everywhere. Billy gets one as well.
Yeah.
See you later, Yanis.
Yeah, he's flushed out. There's no chance.
I love this move by Greece. They sort of grouped up, and all these German players now towards the shooting area, the shooting range, are just completely useless. And that massive player advantage for Greece, despite the fact that some of them are getting knocked, just means that they can flood it and basically just trade their way to the win.
Yeah.
So we now see it's a 6-player advantage, and I think there are a few extra Germans knocked. Yes, who's in a bit of a rough spot here.
I think you'd be right. Yeah, it's obviously 24 for Germany. Greece on 30 players alive still. As you said, a few knocked, so it doesn't really count. I mean, guess who's knocked as well?
And it should be flushed out by that nade as well. So. That kill go back the way of Germany, but it's still 29 to 23, so that 6-player advantage is being maintained for now.
Yeah, exactly. But Germany still have majority control of the circle, and it looks like they're trying to push in a sort of like a concave effect, as you said. Like the concave pushing around. Looks like Greece have realized this, and they're trying to sort of spread out in terms of a line again.
And the problem for that Greek position is they're right at the bottom of the hill. So now the German players have all that high ground, and it sort of becomes a bit of a risky push. I mean, they don't really have a choice because all these Greek players are now outside the circle, but they're getting these flanks on, and Sane goes down. So potentially finding their angles in. Obviously, Sane was outside the circle, but if they can maybe wrap to the north, they can try and come behind the front line of the Germans.
Yep, Greece up by 28 at the moment. And Havana just trying to pop off some shots, gets flanked by Quiet, and that's him gone down as well. So it looks really rough for the Germans here. They're 10 down now.
They found that push onto the compound, got the player advantage, and now it's just all about Germany trying to find a way to out-trade. And it's just really not coming out. You see a couple of Germans getting some kills, so 28 to 19, but it's still massively in the favour of the Greeks.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it seems like once one German gets a kill, they just get found by multiple other Greek members, and that's just essentially numbers. That's just pure numbers working in Greek's favour.
Yeah, we see the Greek players are staying relatively compact.
Yeah.
There's 3-4 people peeking the same guy, whereas the German team's starting to get spread out, starting to get separated, and just being picked off one by one.
Yeah, massive number advantage in terms of Greek side. Siki Beast is pushing in. He's got 2. Can he find some more? There's a whole lot in front of him too.
And that's a nice circle if you're Greece. Yeah. You don't need to make any desperate play. They're just finding these players that can't quite escape, and now it's all Greek, all blue and white in the kill feed. 14-player advantage. Someone needs to go off if the Germans going to have any chance of winning this one.
I mean, it's such a tall order. I think we've got like is it Prone Malone just like proning literally in between the whole Greek team. And I'm not sure what kind of play he's trying to make, but he needs to do it now, that's for sure.
Yeah, the problem now is everyone on this German roster needs to start doing a 2 or 3 to 1 trade if they want to bring this back. And we see just individual German players are just getting picked off one by one as they get separated. I think is that Nelos, 32nd PC.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Nelos. So he just sort of gets completely separated from the rest of the Germans, and now it's all about just cleaning up. Hackerjack with an angle onto a bunch of Greeks, but there's just 5 people shooting at him. Can't do anything about it. 24-4. I think we can pretty safely say this is a Greek game 1.
Yeah. Loam alone, I'm not sure. I mean, he's actually disconnected, I think. So that was, I think he maybe crashed. There were so many players around there, so I don't really blame him. Honestly, the PC is struggling, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean the FPS must be horrible for that Greek death stack, but it's working out in there.
Oh yeah,
with the flood on Sudi.
Look at this. Sudi's like,
that's not even Sudi, man.
Yeah, he's
punched him to death.
Punched out.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Borix on his own. This would be the greatest clutch of PUBG history if you can pull it off. He's got the initial knock, but
imagine.
Normally when you get the initial knock, you've only got 3 other people. Instead, he's got the Panzer out.
Yeah.
He was looking for it. He's got 2. It's like a zombie game now, where they're all just running with their Panzers out.
Yeah,
see how many there are. They're all over the place.
He's coming. Yeah, that's.
There's only so many bullets he has.
Ooh, the flying pan. He's doing work.
He's doing
but obviously they're trying to just pan him.
Charging him.
It's hilarious. Run!
I think he's running out of bullets as well. The car comes in.
Oh no!
They're all just trying to get that many. He's only got 30 bullets left.
Oh, this is an
they're
mess.
nading each other. They're panning each other. He's got nothing left, and he goes down to the punch. Chinjay with the last kill, 23-0 in the favour of Greece. A big game 1 from the. I don't want to say the underdogs, but the team perhaps with the less well-known players.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect this, to be honest with you, but I think their whole sort of strategy was pretty sound, and they kind of just I just said like death stack, just essentially just zerg it and push and wipe one side, and then that's pretty much like half of it over, and then you've got the player advantage essentially. Yeah,
we saw the Greek team sort of get gifted control of the hill, but the Germans focused around Severny, and I think taking that low ground perhaps wasn't the correct play. And based on the fact that they had that high ground, they could all group up, and what they saw was actually quite a weak stack.
Yeah, exactly. But highlights coming in here. Just a few little interesting snippets from what we saw just now. But yeah, I mean, we've seen this kind of circle obviously before with Turkey Hungary, and it was a slightly different circle, but very very similar. Just off towards the west.
But we just see it here where there's like 10, maybe even 15 German players. They're just not involved in this fight at all because of how far away they are.
Yeah.
So although some of the Greek players were going down, just the sheer ability to out-trade meant that they were able to just clutch out, able to get rid of this main German group and just started snowballing.
Yeah, I think that could have been the main issue really. With there was about maybe 10 players that were just split off from the German lineup, and it just
actually runs out of ammo.
Switches SLR and then just gets absolutely battered.
That is the way to win. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't get any of those kills as well, so he can't even pad his stats with his KD at the end there.
No,
but,
that's unfortunate, but nonetheless, I mean that's a solid game. I think safe to say. We're surprised about Greece and their sort of ability to just zerg it and just run at Germany. It was pretty impressive to say the least. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this game. We'll be back in just a second. Yeah, for Miramar. Miramar coming up real soon. Don't go anywhere. So Germany, they got absolutely battered and pushed on the hills, slapped, as you said. But yeah, Greece, they come out on top on the first game in Erangel 1.0, and it was a pretty
one-sided affair.
Yes.
I think it's fair to say. We saw the Greek team, I think, show a bit more cohesion compared to the Germans. There was a lot of German players separating from the team. It wasn't necessarily out of choice sometimes. There were some players that just... The Greeks sort of charged through the middle, and then they were the ones stuck between the blue and some Greeks. But a lot of the times there was German players sort of trying to go for those individual plays, and just getting picked off. And those initial 1-2 kills at the start with no return quickly turned into a 6-kill lead, an 8-kill lead, and then a 23-kill lead at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's just like when you're in there with like... If there's like 10 players that are kind of split off between themselves, then you've got the group of the German players, and then you've got a whole group of a full stack of Greek players. You're essentially 10 players down. You essentially have to get two kills and still stay alive.
A minimum in that situation needs to be 2-for-1 trades. So it's I want to see a bit more cohesion come out for the German roster onto Miramar next. So there is still 4 games to go, potentially, if Germany can start to bring it back. But we are on to Erangel again after this.
Yes.
And if that first one was anything to go by, that's certainly the Greek map.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, after this one, we'll have Erangel 2.0 as well. So, different, I guess different scenery, I suppose. Like, it looks different.
A couple more trees.
Yeah, a few more trees, a few different, I don't know, trenches and things like that. But
the odd rock as well. But first off, we're going to go on to Miramar. So the plane is quite far north, as I'm sure we'll see fairly soon. But that is going to be a little bit rough, I think. There's really not that much that the teams can go towards where they want to separate. Because obviously we saw a fairly big separation in game 1. But this plane might sort of force a couple of hot drops.
Yeah, and I think, with Los Jonas kind of being pretty far, I'm not sure if they'll opt to go for that. I'm not sure. But here you can see the kills, I guess, for game number 1.
Barely any on the German side.
Yeah, I mean,
no one getting more than 1 kill, which, given the fact that we're talking about how they needed to get those 2-for-1 trades, that's where you can just see that just did not happen.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, you see it in game, you see it on the leaderboard, you see it already. It just didn't happen. No kills came through. Only 8 players with those kills, and as you look on the Greek side, there's X-Quiet's up there. He's not being that quiet. He's got quite a few kills.
Had a noisy game 1.
Yeah, exactly. So it's solid stuff from him.
And I'm looking at that, and I see a fair few players that didn't get any kills that are actually quite well known. I mean, Seek's a player I've seen for quite a long time now. Pepe Le Pew is guess who? He's Mills Power. They're in contenders now, I believe. So the fact that some of the best players on that Greek team don't even need to step in to win game 1 shows you that perhaps this is a quite stacked team.
Yeah, I totally agree with that for sure. And I mean, you see a lot of the. I mean, there's a few G2 players that didn't even get any kills on the German side. You see, yeah, I mean, there's actually quite a few. It's kind of scary. Hopefully, they step up and they realize the German potential, and yeah, they come out on on Miramar looking strong. Laggy playing, that was a bit weird. But Greece out first as we've seen previously. They're going for El Pozo, Monte, around that area, western area again.
I wonder if we've had an agreement where Greece is going to go west, Germany's going to go east on all the maps. So I wonder if that's something we'll see consistently tonight. But it looks like that sort of El Pozo Monte is going to be the focus of the Greek roster.
Yeah. It could also be that just they like the Greeks go out first and then the Germans go out second. Maybe that's just a thing.
Well, I suppose the Germans are sort of reaction dropping. Something you do in squads and duos where you look and see what's free. And because the Greeks are going out instantly, obviously the bit at the end of the plane is where it's free. But we're going to see them focus on that southern side. And we've seen in Wingman and Nations Royale so far that we've been watching that there's been 2 circles that have been popping up all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And that's been sort of the Bendita East circles and a Monte Nuevo Western circle. So I wonder if we're going to see one of those again, where it's going to be a bit of an attack versus defense game. Yeah,
that'd be quite interesting when when it's 32 versus 32, not just duos, right? So we'll see how like a big squad, another northern set. This is like an Oasis kind of. Yeah, there we go.
I would love to see that.
That'd be
absolute chaos with 32 v 32 up in there.
Wow. Okay.
I'm looking at that, and the German roster last game had an opportunity to sort of cut off the Greeks from the circle. And now this game, I'm sort of looking at this and think maybe the Greeks can set up on that central hill and maybe towards even Torre Ahumada if they can get up there fast enough and just create like a wall and just sort of lock that German team in. It's something that, as I said, the Germans should have done last game and didn't. But maybe this is the time where the Greeks will recognise that that's a possibility at least.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. Yeah, if they take the advantage and try and push the issue towards Germany, then could be quite interesting. You got obviously got the wall on the northern side there, so that's inaccessible land past that wall, and then the Oasis. It doesn't really look that nice of an Oasis, really. To us, you think of Oasis as like a luxury area to chill out, and this just looks like I don't know. Yeah.
Also, like historically, Oasis the point of them was that they're like drinking water and stuff, and that water is kind of dirty, kind of grimy.
Murky,
so I'm not sure I'd want to drink from it, but
yeah, I'll skip that.
Luckily, this isn't a survival game where you need to drink, so everyone should be fine.
I thought you were going to say it's not a survival game. I was like, well, but
sort of.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't no Daisy, is it, right? But Germany, they're looting up around Minas, and you can see they're in El Azahar as well. That's the usual looting town of G2, so they're used to this area anyway. Although I mean, it looks like the main G2 roster's in Picado, or some of them anyway. But yeah, it looks like they're no one's really making their way in there. Everyone's chilling. The circle is about to start shifting in as well.
I expect we'll see a lot of the German players head up to that Torre Ahumada area and maybe try and progress into the center of the circle on the north side, because I expect the hills will become inaccessible very quickly as all those players from San Martin and La Cabrera try to move in quite quickly for the Greek roster. So I think we'll see a sort of northeast to southwest divide in this phase 1.
Yep, 100%. I think you're quite right there. I'd like to see some kind of. I would love to see some kind of cutoff where a team sends out like groups of 4 or something to try and camp rotations or whatever. They kind of sacrifice themselves maybe, or try and get away, or just cut off like a whole group of players. And
I remember back into, I think it was the last season of Nations Royale. We had, I think it was, I want to say Germany versus Norway, and Germany had this sort of 6-man death stack that anyone that they saw that dropped a little bit separated from the Greeks, this little death stack just drove straight to it and just grabbed a couple of kills at the start of the game. But it looks like they're not going to go for that strategy. At least they haven't done it in the first 2 games. But that is because they're splitting, like dropping very separated.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I know. I'm not going to say G2 is kind of forcing their strategy upon this group, but I know that G2 likes to spread out a lot and get angles and try and get information and just different angles on the enemies. And I mean, it kind of works for squads, although I mean it hasn't worked recently for G2 unfortunately. But I don't think it'll work here really.
It's interesting to see how some teams are sort of applying their squads mentality to the 32v32 that we have, because I think Turkey is a region that a lot of their teams sort of rely on their teamwork. Particularly DA in PEL. I don't mean to be offensive to them because they are great mechanical players, but I mean when you look at PEL, they're not the players that stand out as mechanically great, and yet for quite a long time they were still finishing fairly decently, and that was a lot of time because they were just such a cohesive unit. And I think that's something we've already seen on the Turkish side, and maybe we're seeing that sort of individualistic style from G2 being applied to this Nations Royale team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the sort of leadership roles have come into play. That's for sure. And you see the whole G2. God darn it. The whole Germany
I'm going to be doing that all
team.
night.
Yeah. I've kind of got into a habit of it now. The whole Germany roster looks like they're heading in as kind of a stacked unit, which is quite nice to see. They're all sort of coming in all together. Kind of different to what they were doing in the the first Erangel game, where there was loads of split up players. Trimpson knocking a true believer.
I've got a pretty saucy crate on the screen. That is enough, an org and an orm together. That is exactly what you want. In my opinion, that is the best gun combination you can have in the game. But you two tac stocks just to be a bit pointless. Neither of those guns uses tac stock, obviously. But one thing I want to point out is I really like this movement by Pullman and Seeker Beast to take that initial control, because as well, some of the Greek players starting to come up to the north. They're presenting this line that the German players can't come through, which is denying that entire western side to the team.
Look at that! It's like friggin' Star Wars over here in this up on this hill. But but again, like as you see, Germany have taken the lower ground here, and it's. I mean, we saw what happened last time, and it's looks like Greece have full control of the center map side.
I wonder if maybe Germany will recognise that the south side is relatively empty, the water treatment area, and try and try and flank it in the end. But that is a very Greek-centric circle. The entire eastern side pretty much denied to Germany. So now it's all about, do you crash? I wonder if maybe they're going to create a bit of a death stack on the north and try and pick off those straggling Greek players. It does certainly look like they're going to go north, or whether they recognise that southern rotation is possible.
Yeah, it looks like they're all turning around. Looks like Breitska's called the free area on the southern side of water treatment, but at the same time, it's not that great of a spot because the north of that is still uphill. And
once again, the Greeks have the control of that high ground, and I wonder if maybe once they recognise all those German players are going south, that they move west onto the second hill, just to the south of Oasis, and just control those 2 points of the high ground and prevent any German movement up.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like any German movement that they do, the Greeks will be first to counter it, and if they're quick, they can easily just completely block off any possible movement from the German players and put so much pressure on that there's no way they'll even get anywhere close to where they want to.
Actually, manic procession. I don't think I've ever seen so many cars so close in a PUBG game, but they're all coming around to this water treatment area. And they have no map control at all. There's like 4 German players actually in the circle. And we see now the Greek players are starting to move south, starting to sort of present a defensive line on those hilltops and prevent any further movement for the Germans. And it looks like maybe the Germans are going to go for a bit of aggression here onto the hill.
That's quite interesting. I'm glad to see them sort of take an early fight. This could be. I mean the fight that this sort of again starts it off. But on the edge of the circle, and I want to say that the circle's moving in now. If it goes anywhere sort of north, then Germany's going to have to move again.
But the problem here is it's like 32v10. So like we saw for Germany last game, where a group of their players got sort of picked off, there's a lot of Greek players that are not involved in this fight. I want to see maybe the northern players start to come east and try to get a flank on these people trying to go up the hill. But if the German players can go fast enough up this hill, they're going to be at such a massive advantage.
Yeah, 100%. I expect to see lots of smokes coming out. Okay. So the circle does shift south, which actually gives Germany a bit more time to make this push happen.
But it looks like the Greeks are actually going to aggress back, and we're going to have a big engagement on this eastern side. There's already that initial knock on to Gideon, and that may be the sign to go.
Yeah, nades coming out. Jansen's pulled up on his buggy. He's looking for some sort of flanking position towards the northern side. He's actually pushing on his own up towards the northern part of the compound here.
There's just actually, I think, 2 knocks in the favour of Germany now, so potentially looking for a way to make this engagement happen. Payne's going to Stavranos running completely in the open. That spray down, can he land it? Not quite, and actually Quiet comes in and saves his life, but Paynes did get the knock. Whether the res can come in, I'm not sure. Oh, Jansen's completely split off from the German roster now.
Yeah, Mobsy's he's trying to defend his northern position here. And there's not much Jansen can really do about it. He's still low health, but managing to push in slightly. I think if he gets in here, he might cause some issues to the group roster here.
And unlike last game, the initial knocks are not in favour of one team. It's only a one-player advantage at the minute for Germany. Proper sneak attack going on by Jansen here.
Yeah, I mean I like it because if he gets into the the enemy lines, he can properly do some damage. That's for sure. Takes down one at a time and just keeps picking away at the numbers of Greece. And I mean,
not quite, does he know the guys on the roof?
I think he has an idea.
Yeah.
He must have heard. I'm not sure who that is. Pure sauce. Somebody up top there. But yeah, it looks like Greece are already 4 down compared to the Germany's 30.
I think his Zaga's dropped down now, and I'm not sure I'm not sure Jansen rather has any idea. He's going to come out the side. He's going to spot him. Can he get the spray down? No, Zaga actually gets the kill.
Wow, that's impressive turnaround from Zaga. That solid stuff. Jansen goes down. So that's their kind of inside man down already for Germany.
That's a very blue and white kill feed going the way of Greece, but they are at a slight disadvantage. We see 26 to 28, looking to bring it back. But this is a much closer game than we saw last time.
For sure, Memo. He's kind of pushed up a bit further towards this western side, and you see actually on the map. Oh wow, the circle shifts north, and Greece have full control, and they're kind of essentially holding out Germany from that central side. But the numbers are still slightly in favour of Germany.
But once again, we're seeing that sort of concave come in for the Greek team. And if they could start making a little portable red zone here, there are so many players sort of stuck in this tiny dip. Yeah. If they have that utility, they can start to make it rain. But it actually looks like it's the German team that are just about getting on the up now. But suddenly 2 knocks come in quickly, sort of returning the favour.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of Molotovs there.
Yeah, so that's just like they're just trying to burn them out. I think. Looks like he's going to go for the Res Burbank onto Nelos there. And lots of flashes coming in from the Greek side, and looks like Greek is now up in terms of numbers with 2 plus.
Yeah, we didn't quite see it on the stream, but there was a big engagement on the south side. But there was something like I think 6 German players versus like 10 Greek players,
wow.
And it fully went in the favour of the Greeks. It was something like a 6-1 trade, I think. So that really swung the numbers, and suddenly Germany's at a big disadvantage once again.
Yeah, they're cornered. They're on the back foot as well, and
they're all stuck in a valley as well. Yeah. We have players on either side of it for the Greeks, so there's no cover whatsoever. They need to sort of try and find a way in, but it looks like it's not happening for now.
Yeah, no, I mean, when they rest on the compound's slightly outside, and looks like they're trying to sort of back off somehow, somewhere, or just trying to spread out so they can get some more angles, because they're all just grouped up, as you said, in this little dip. Oh, nice shots from Quiet there. Let's get the knock, and
we spot the second player. Ixchris goes down to Dixter, who grabs his second kill, but his 3rd knock of the game. That's a speculative spray. I respect the confidence. That's when you've just had a really good gunfight and you just think you can hit every shot.
Yeah.
But he actually gets another knock there. He's doing work, and now it's just a blue flood. Once again, the Greeks are starting to snowball, and it's all going their favour at the minute. A 10-player disadvantage for Germany now.
Yeah, Fretsu goes down as well. Sneak Astral Beer Bank. It's just so many Germans dying at the kill feed. It's actually kind of sad to watch, really. But
Greece having a game and a half. He's on like 6 kills now already.
Absolutely
it's a big one for him.
He's just solid stuff there. 24 HP those.
Oh, the pans are out. The pans are out.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. No, they're not actually just going to kill them. They're going to straight up just batter them. 20 to 0. 20 still alive for Greece. They only lost 12 players there.
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly better than last game for Germany. Three more kills, so maybe in 7 games' time, Germany might win on at this rate.
But then they run out of time. So,
yeah, they've got one more map before a hot 3-0 coming out from Greece. If they can turn around, maybe, but well, it did not look good.
No, I mean, yeah, if we go back to the Erangel 2.0, we know what happened on the last Erangel game. That was 1.0, so, maybe they feel more like at home on 2.0, I don't know, but maybe it's the scenery.
Try to find a way that they bring this back.
Yeah.
We were saying it was potentially going to be a close game, but it definitely feels like Greece are working much better as a unit right now.
Yeah, for sure. Highlights hit. Obviously, we've just seen this last game. There wasn't really that much to look at. It was a pretty sort of long fight just on that hill, and that was it. That was the whole game. There was nothing more, nothing less. Just Germany made a I guess a very aggressive, concerted push onto the hill, and that was essentially where it ended.
Yeah, but once again we saw that high ground taken very early on by the Greek team, and the Germans were forced to sort of progress from a really bad position.
Yeah.
You know, they were stuck in this tiny valley with so many angles on them, and it just did not work out once again. And I think there's definitely a focus for the Greek team. It definitely feels like they're intentionally going towards that high ground.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it for that second game. We're going to go on to Erangel 2.0 just in a second. So get some tea, get some I don't know, some coffee, some drinks, and we'll be right back in about 5 minutes.
I've been feeling like a man out of time. I've been staring into space to get in tune. I've been waiting for the sand to fall behind. I've been looking for a face inside the moon. I've been looking for a faith to lead the faithless. Caught slipping trying to catch the speed of light. Every time I try to make a way out of my lateness, pulled over, got somebody reading me right. Cause we've been chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in the upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Falling overboard, catch me off the side. Or maybe you just missed it when you closed your eyes. Life goes in an instant. One hell of a ride. If you don't go for fiction, I'll get caught up in the lies while you was chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in the upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Focus, false starts like roll it in the dark like stutter steps last breath. Staring in the void, feeling paranoid, thinking if you fall, you won't make a noise. Off an opioid, man, you got a droid, at least you got a phone. Fucking humanoid, why you xenophobe? Why you so annoyed? Why you tripping out? Who made you devout? Why we go this route? Can you do without? If you look within, here we go again. Hands inside the vehicle, you mad cause it's autonomous. You thinking you anonymous, but we upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out.
Vai na fé, vai atrás do que você quer. Quem tá na sola do pé nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não mudar a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultivar aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e põe defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro.
An absolute Greek landslide that was in that last game. Miramar, that was all the way over towards the hills, and Greek took it away with 20 players left remaining.
Yeah.
And Germany with 0.
With 0. That's normally how it goes when
Yes.
one team wins and one team is 0. And Spa Outback, the observer, he had a really pretty good point that he brought up. It's in the Greek nature to want high ground. Because think of where they put all the temples and stuff, like back in ancient Greece. It's always like on mountaintop, like Mount Olympus and all that stuff. It's always up in the heights. So maybe that's why in the first game they ran all the way back up the mountainside, even though it was actually on the corner of the circle on Erangel. When like the majority of the circle was down towards shooting range, they still stayed uphill.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe.
That could
in
be,
their
that could
blood,
be
you know,
something.
to
Yeah,
want
it's
high
just,
ground.
there's just like automatic kind of high ground. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, yeah, just a Greek sort of automatic mindset. Yeah, I mean, I guess, sure, that can make sense. Yeah.
Now it is. Now it does.
Yeah, that's exactly why they did that.
Yeah.
But leaderboard here, that's for the last game on Miramar here. And there's quite a few. I mean, it's pretty top heavy in terms of on the Greek side. I mean, I would say top heavy on the Germany side, but it's not really that top heavy at all.
Well, I mean, there's only 3 people with 2 kills.
Yeah, exactly.
Super top heavy.
So,
no, not really. I mean, this was. What, can we call it a slaughter? Not really. When does it become a slaughter? Is that 25 plus still alive for the other team? We should have like different rankings for how much of a win it was.
I think probably around about 25 would be.
It was domination.
Yeah.
This one maybe.
Domination. Yes.
You have to see anyone get a perfect. Have we seen anyone get a perfect before?
What a perfect.
Like 32-0?
No.
That would be insane. Imagine a team winning without losing a single player.
I feel like that might just
would
be.
be
I mean, it's not impossible,
insane.
but it's
very difficult.
yeah.
It's close to impossible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so if it's 30 alive, then it's still
That's
A+,
impressive.
plus.
That's an A star in my books for sure.
Yeah.
But here we go, Erangel 2.0, and the Germans are out first. So I guess Saint was right with the Germans take east and then Greek goes west. That does make sense, since we've just seen this. So
Makes sense. I mean, that's the way it was in the first game, and I don't see why the Greek players would want to do anything to try and change that now. I mean, we can put it this way: the Germans, they helped the treaty in the first game when they came from west to east, and now they were nice and doing the same. And maybe Chris is just pushing the boundaries a little bit. Maybe that's like the neutral zone, not Switzerland, where he's landing now. Sora wanted the 2, but seems like Chris gets the better part of it.
yeah, and you even saw, I think it was Kowo that dropped into Pachinki to try and nab one of their vehicles, and he did so. As that was pretty cheeky from him, but I mean, it didn't really work out because they died anyway. But Yadrox, that's not what you want to be doing.
Good thing he has 31 teammates that can rest him.
That is true. Yeah, that's also a plus point.
Yeah, for sure.
But circle, it's
That
very
is the
central.
Center circle, if I've seen one.
Wow, I mean, maybe we could say like a north versus south kind of fight. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But probably not. I mean, because it's going to
Imagine if they were each their side of the water.
Yeah.
And just
that's what I'm
stand
saying.
and throw pans.
Yeah, just.
Hoo-yah!
Imagine if that's getting knocked. We would just see one probably like, oh, he got it. He got the knock.
All the emotes in game.
Yeah.
It's going absolutely insane. No, but for those of you guys out there watching who might be new to this tournament, I don't think, and maybe I can have it confirmed with you, if Germany goes out now, I don't think they go to the lower bracket, do they?
I feel like they do. Just like in the.
Everyone gets one lower bracket spot?
I feel like you do, unless you're in the finals. And
You'd think that they do. But in any case, it is a upper bracket, lower bracket system. So Greece there, I mean, 2-0 already. They are making their way closer to that maybe, who knows, passage towards the final stages.
But yeah, it looks like Germany has a lot more control, obviously, of their circle. But the circle is kind of favouring the eastern side, and that's where they've kind of taken residence. So it does make sense. But at the same time, it looks like Greek have kind of gone for a further sort of south. To south western area, so Pachinki's pretty lit though. I wonder if they get enough loot there. Like, there's tons of players there. So
I think if you're Germany and you have control of both school apps and Rostock, like that entire strait there, you're sitting in a real good position, both in terms of trying to hold the Greek players out in a potential situation that the next circle goes east, but also you have so much accessibility both to rotate north, you can rotate straight back. I mean, you can pretty much go wherever you want if you have that. And you can see Kaiga is actually driving in towards, pretty much inside of Rostock now. And if they can make like a barrier all the way from maybe even Watertown to Rostock to school and apps, it's going to be extremely difficult for the Greek players to really get a foothold anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be super tough. I imagine probably Kai's probably asked if anyone dropped in Rostock. No, so he's just taking that for himself, and he's going to probably stay there and kind of hold up residents and just make sure that no one really comes through there, so they can kind of have like some sort of a line across the middle anyway. But it's not high ground though, and I feel like every time I've seen a team take the high ground, it's always actually I lie, because Hungary, was it Hungary that took the high ground on Vikendi?
Yes.
Versus Turkey, and Turkey still battled them.
They were waiting for them once they had to come down the mountain. Let's put it that way. Yep, they were sitting up on the hillside, and I guess you can say it was multiple things that led to that eventual defeat. But tunnel visioning and more things. I mean, also just Turkey again showing that they play for the late game. I mean, they had a fight that they could commit to if they wanted to, but they realized that the odds were against them, backed out, and we haven't really seen too much of that. It's as if once the main brawl begins, I don't recall, other than seeing the Turkish team do it, to really see a team manage to disengage from that when they find themselves in a bad position.
Yeah, no, you never really
just fight it to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
No surrender.
Yeah, essentially, you just commit to the fight, and that's it. Like once the fight kind of starts, that's usually the end game, isn't it? Really. But it looks like everyone from Pachinki's actually left, so they've all decided to sort of peace out on the as a unit and go towards the some call it the small Pachinki or mini Pachinki.
Yeah.
Just north of maybe Pachinki.
We can call it pool because it's in the middle of Pachinki and school.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's actually
It's just confusing because there's a pool house in the school too.
So. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be confusing.
That was a good deal.
Nice try.
One. I liked it. Maybe it's squish. No, that's not gonna work. School skinky.
No.
Skinky.
No.
Skinky means ham in Danish. I like the name.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like skinke and.
Let's call it ham.
Ham. Well, there's your name.
Let's get a ham.
No, it's the ham compounds.
Let's go ham.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I mean, this position from Kaigot, now that Corey and Omega is over there as well, it's even better. But him sitting there, even if the players from Greece had managed to go into Rostock, he would at least have hurt them.
Oh, yeah.
They could have given the info across. So him sitting over there for like the last minute or two is actually a really, really smart position. Now, there are a lot of Greek players in this. I mean, this is probably the closest we'll ever get to a proper battlefield in like medieval battlefields, like out in the open, warriors. I look at this, man. Its terrain has already been scarred by all the artillery barrages and all that, and it seems like that's where the Greeks they want to have the fight. I'm not sure if the Germans they're up for it though.
Yeah, no, Germans have taken residence just in compounds and buildings around. It's kind of the boring style, isn't it? Right? You know, you want you want to go out into the open and not into the open, but into the sort of the open kind of open air cover. And fight from there, which is what I think is quite fun.
I think if you play in terms of control right now, they have so much more knowledge and space in the circle, and they do have a little strike force on the southern side, a little sneaky peeky scouting force on the south side. I think they're just ready to rotate and take whatever they need to do. And right now, Germany, if they move quick, you can see they're already all sprinting on the southern side. If they move fast, they will be able to hold the Greek players to 1/4 of the circle.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, with that southern sort of hold of the of that kind of I call it like a sort of a G2 compound, because that's where I usually see them. But it seems like they might want to sort of make a pincer maneuver and roll as like a 6-man death squad.
Wait, what are the Greek players doing? They're going for high ground, but they're full on ramping on them. Yeah. Look at this. The entire Greek fleet, I should say, the entire Greek army is pushing up towards Potato Hill. Again, high ground.
Yeah.
But what do they want to do from here? I mean, it's a very committed decision. Jinjae must have called out that, guys, I think he has a very specific mark on the map that he wants everybody to rotate towards right now.
Yeah, I think you're right here. So, lots of movement coming in. The southern Germans have come in and they just kind of sent it in between a lot of the Greek players here, and this could be really rough. Marco does get a knock, but it's only one, and it is a flush though as well. So that comes on through. But
look at how many German players out of position. I mean, the entire school apps area, Pochingi, Razak, and the Razak Hill, they can't do anything right now. And it's a little scary. Give it and Bill, they've managed to push all the way over, and now this compound is being completely eyeballed by the Greeks.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like a one sort of group of Greek players up on the in the fields sort of towards the eastern side of where the volcano is, and it's an interesting sort of spot. I guess they want to kind of take some more ground and maybe sort of try and I guess concave them in terms of in the center and just batter them. But at the same time, since they're in all these compounds, it's gonna be so hard to really collapse on it. To be honest with you.
This one shifts north.
Oh, it's back.
Okay, this is where we see all the Greek players just crash into school. Like, just smash the vehicles into apartments. They need something. I mean, they cannot just sit. They cannot sit on Potato and wait. And right now, if you're the German players, you need to push like all the guys out east into apartments. You need control. You have 4 players in school. Look at this. You can see how they're all lining it up right now. The Greek players. They're just making like an arrowhead, and they're gonna send it down that hill. They're probably stuck. Are they going to full commit to it? I like the idea if they are, but there's a lot of speed. Are they all going to school? They are all sending it over towards the school building. No, one car flipped. They're all going. The full-on sprint towards school is here. How can they hold this off? Holy cow, Fraxco! Omega, they're all trying to hold them off, but there's so many Greek players coming in.
This is an absolute mess and cluster. Bray's going to try and defend as much as he can. Hackerjack on the roof. Micah just trying as much as he can.
1 nade could kill 7 players right now.
Literally, yeah. This is where we see this is where we see the nades coming really handy here. Oh my lord.
Oh, this is a slaughter. There's no way that the Greeks prevailed from this.
I mean, to be fair,
he blew himself up.
They haven't lost that many. I mean, there's obviously a lot of knocks, but no real flashes coming through.
Where did they get over? I mean, no, they have control of the building, but they need to get inside. Yeah. Like, they need to sprint inside. Look at how many casualties they're taking, down to 22 now. They need to get inside, and they need to like lay low for a second and just kind of reconsider what's going on here. But there's they needed to get the main building.
Yeah,
they needed that main building, and that didn't happen. And I'm afraid this might be the defeat of the Greek army.
Yeah, Gideon Derry, he's flashing up players on the edge of the compound here, and you've got loads of Greeks on the southern side still pushing the building. It's still going on. Stevanos, he's got one. Oh, that nade. Oh,
wait,
there's
what?
a lot of Germans here.
Oh, we got 3 with a nade!
Wait, what? Okay.
Just lobbed them outside. They're all there. They're all waiting for it.
I mean, that's what you want to do, isn't it? Just save all your nades until this point in time where
Could
you
you imagine them turning this around now?
Oh my lord! I mean,
The Germans are extremely split. That's the main issue here. The Germans are extremely split, so they can only push a few at a time. And they haven't really come... Oh, Mox and 13 caps, and that's... He's going to get kicked.
yeah, that's the kid in there. But you can see they're just all clustered around this pool area, and I mean, there's only sort of I guess 10 alive for Greece.
They have 3 players up on the hills too, but they're going to get pushed now as well. Give it Gucci and Pepper Le Pew. Up on the hills, 9 versus 23. This would require a miracle of sorts if they want to turn this thing around. I like the idea of them pushing into the school and apps area, but they didn't go for the right place.
Yeah, no, I feel like it might have been better to go for apps so they can kind of take, just get into one app or
I'll drive all the way around to the side
apps.
of school and go in from the other side. Just anything but the schoolhouse, because they were all pinned in the corner, and as we said, nades, everything. Not gonna happen, and there's no way they're turning this around.
No, 2 players alive for Greece. They're all on the southern side, it seems, and I mean, Guz...
There's 2 guys inside.
Yeah.
It's Chin Jae, the captain, holding strong.
Oh, wow.
That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. How are they doing this? Now that's 1 down. This should be the defeat of the last nade. It's then. Oh, they're blowing up their teammates. What is going on? Germany almost. I want to say almost through it, but they had 18 players alive.
I was going to say, yeah.
So it wasn't because they didn't have the expendable forces there, but it is going to be a German victory.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. Finally getting 1 on the board there. Erangel 2.0. I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see. To be fair, I think they've kind of. I wouldn't say they've changed up anything really. There wasn't really much they've changed, but just Greek made a choice and it didn't work out.
The idea of pushing the school or apps for that sake was really good. And I think they registered that there weren't a lot of players there. They should just have tried to plow those vehicles through the main entrance and get into the yard rather than try and sit in the corner, because the combination of Apartment's been able to see all their vehicles, and also the Rozhok Hill been able to throw nades and push down in that direction. Like, with the corner they had, there was just no space where they could sit back and heal up.
Yeah, I think as you saw it, I mean, you see here on your screen there, just everyone crashed the outer wall. Whereas if as you said, if they try to sort of funnel through to the main gate and get right into the courtyard, and then they can sort of spread out amongst the rooms and then defend it as a sort of a cohesive unit. But they just kind of they kind of crumbled on the edge of the wall, and that was it.
Yeah, it did not work out for them at all, unfortunately. And this is the first time in a while we've actually seen both teams get wins. It's always been shootouts. Yeah. I feel like it's always been 3-0s, 5-0, and just 3-0s and 2-0s.
Yeah,
now there's a bit of a fight for it.
Yeah, no, but that's it for Erangel 2.0. We're gonna go on to, I think it's either Vikendi. I think it's Vikendi and then Sanok after, if it gets to that. So we'll see if Greece can pull it through. We're right back in about 5 minutes.
Vai na fé, vai atrás do que você quer. Quem tá na missão sabe bem o que é. Gasta a sola do pé, nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não muda a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultiva aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e põe defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro.
So the the absolute massacre of the Greeks there. They kind of tried to push into school and just essentially got picked apart, and that was it. And Germans came out with a 18 sort of I guess 18 players alive, and yeah, it wasn't too good for them.
No, I mean this is the second of 3 games where we see the Germans be kind of split out, have feelers here and there and here and there, and just kind of make sure where these Greek players. And then the Greek players, just I mean we saw when they pushed up towards the potato hill, everyone moving together.
Yeah.
And then when they committed down again, everyone but 3 players pushed into school. So where they play more as one cohesive unit, the Germans like split up more. But kudos to Germany. I mean, considering how split they were, they all reacted to that push extremely fast.
Oh yeah, it was a super fast sort of congregation into the school, and everyone just kind of just pushed their way in and flushed them out, and yeah,
it was the plan all along. To only have 4 people there, and then trap them to go there. Are we giving them more credit than what they do?
Yeah,
are we giving them?
I think so.
It was random.
I think they never tried to just kind of spread across the Alps, and then like Rozok side and school.
Because I noticed they only had 4 people there, and I was like, if the Greeks decide to push and actually had gone for the main building, they should be able to get it pretty easily. But but they all kind of clawed themselves into a corner and didn't really work out for them that well.
No, yeah, tough. But yeah, I mean, as we said, I think what they showed them was just go straight through the main gate and just smash it straight into the courtyard.
Yeah.
Spread out into the building and just kind of take it from there. And before the Germans even know it, it's just like they've just got them kind of not even cornered, but just like they have all this vision and angles on everybody else and trying to push in. It's gonna be difficult.
It wasn't really easy at all. Let's take a look at the scoreboard of that game. Of course, Germans getting quite a few more kills than the than the returning players did.
Yeah, that's for sure. But looks like there's actually a lot of kills on the Greeks.
I mean, this is after 3 games.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, this is the overall kind of board.
But they did manage to pick up quite a few, considering the fact that they were sitting all of them at like at 2 at the most. 3 players had 2 kills. Everyone was way low, so you can see a lot of the players actually managed to do something about that.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Yanis up top there with 5, as well as Hagjack on the Germany side, and looks like a pretty even sort of spread, similar with Greece as well. Even though Greece have 1, 2.
Everyone but 3 players in Greece has a kill zone. I like to see that.
Yeah,
we have 5 down on Germany, but everyone but 3 players.
Yeah, I think Kygo's got to get in there and get some kills himself. Just to boost some confidence, you know.
And I think had Jinjae gotten just half of the flushes and all the knocks he got in the end of the game, they would be sitting at 10 kills or something like that.
Yeah, that was
that final push, he was plowing them with the AK.
Imagine if he had just like 2 nades or
249.
Molotovs. Oh, a 249. Oh my lord.
Just like hold the angle.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about that already.
That's where they would have won that game. Just
Yeah.
smokes and just spraying with an M249 until it's out of ammo.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, I mean, I guess one nade would have done it though if they, if they just threw
I
one
know.
nade down the smokes. But looks like,
nonetheless.
yeah, it looks like it's an interesting kind of drop here. They're kind of all sort of in between each other, and this might turn out to be an early fight.
I don't think they've planned for Vikendi.
No, I
It
don't
seems
think
a little stressed.
so. Yeah,
They're all over the place.
like there's some like sort of there's some
Sinjay, gather
there's-
your troops.
yeah there's some German players kind of like just drowned in blue.
What's going on here?
And then
They're all drowning in
this
on each
is-
other.
This is
It's
a bit of a yikes. But
Mountain, Podvosto, and what's that other one?
Goroka, I think?
Goroka, yeah. It's those 3 places that have like 90% of all the players.
Yeah, looks like it. Payne's trying to piece out and get some loot on his own without any issues. This is Kresnik, I think Mount Kresnik. Well, just behind us, but the other one here is Podvosto. Looks like the Greeks have control of the main towns actually, and the circle is southwest, so
That's a fun circle.
centered around Sawmill.
What do the Germans do here? Do they? I mean, they know that there are practically no Greek players in the circle so far. So do they just stay up here to try and hold them and keep it that way, or do they try and rotate in and take a position?
I think what I did mention this. I think in a few games ago, but what I would love to see is them kind of hold off the roads, like have
Yeah.
like a group of maybe like 5 on each road holding off the roads as they as they come in and well, I mean, it could be a real proper strat in terms of just like picking off the few as they come through.
Mm-hmm.
Kowo, he is knocked already. This is one of the early ones here. Some shots coming out from Nikos, and can't quite get the flush. Can't quite find Kowo on the floor.
Something tells me that there are more vehicles to come by on other maps than on Vikendi. But you're right. I mean, if they do decide to take the vehicles, of course, both the snow scooter and the snowmobile aren't. I mean, they're meant for riding on the snow, hence the name. So they probably wouldn't be on the roads. But if it's mainly cars, I guess I should say, that are being picked by the Greek team, then for sure. I mean, roadblocks. We don't see a lot of them.
No, dinosaurs. We don't see a lot of those either.
Roller coasters.
Jansen, he's just looting up, ready to go. Bretsko as well. He's in the same sort of area, and that's around the Dana Park as well. So that's actually where is that? Where's that Dana Park? That's actually center circle pretty much. Yeah. So it's they're looking okay, but again, I want to see them kind of cut off the roads. That'd be my dream right here. Would be for them to just like set up traps and really sort of prepare for the Greek push.
Cut off the supply line.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Only issue is that half their team is north of the Greek team.
That's also true, yeah.
So they don't really have their full force down there.
Although that could work out in terms of like they stop the Greek push and then the team comes in from behind and kind of...
They could just completely sandwich them.
Exactly. But Marco, he's pushing in, slowly but surely. Mobsy does get out of here. Absolutely. Sane's really close. I'm not sure... Sane was on a... Oh, Mobsy stopped. Oh, no, that's Sane down. Marco with the return fire. Mobsy's pretty low here. Fine does flush him, though.
Sane got debated.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Marco was supposed to hold him. Didn't happen. Never trust a guy named Marco.
Never trust Marco.
Never.
That's
Seems like the Greek players all making their way down the mountain. Most of them have made their way there already. We do still have, I think it's Magebane, out to the through the west towards Krishas, and they have to make their way in as well. And other than that, it seems like once again the majority of the Greek team is one pile pushing forward together.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's like the same again as we've always seen. Really, just the Greeks kind of death zerging upon the German squads here, and it's just
They're sticking.
It's
around,
hard
though.
to it's hard to come by. They're slowly but surely moving through.
I mean, the German players, they're waiting. As you can see, they're sitting there waiting for them. Urs does find Marco. I think that was the last kind of enemy behind. Oh, behind enemy lines teammate for Germany, at least for now. Or in between.
Yeah.
Enemies, I guess I should say, more than behind.
Yeah, I mean, technically the German players north of that are technically behind enemy lines still. So we'll see if they can make a move in. Looks like they're lacking vehicles.
I like
so
this push down from well, it's not half the team, but you can see some of them do have 4 people in the vehicles, so could be quite impactful. They're trying to wrap around and maybe even try and pin the German players in. You can see you have all the like the entire force pushing forward, and then we have some of these Greek players pushing on down to try and see if they can do some sort of pin in on the German players. And so far it's working, but I think they know they're there.
Yeah, it seems like Greece wants control of Dino Park. I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning is, but it's I mean it is kind of a walled compound in a sense, but it looks like Bretsko and Jansen have just pieced out. They don't want any part of that, and it makes sense because they'll be fighting 10 players or something versus their versus their 2. So
I mean, Germany would be best off engaging. I mean, Greece would be best off engaging right now because there's still German players caught on the northern side.
Not they know that though. Obviously, there's no vision of that. But if they were to, they would be in a great advantage already.
This is really smart play.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. Yeah, because
look at how they're pinning them.
Looks like Germany thinks that they're pinning the teams on the north, but then you've got like a pincer action from the south onto Germany as well. But then another pincer action from the south of that Greek sort of.
They're almost making a flag.
Yeah.
I mean, in the colors, it's like red, blue, red, blue, red. I don't know. That's probably not a flag, and maybe like an African flag. They always have different, like some interesting colors.
Yeah.
Red, blue, red, blue, red.
It is a flag now.
Now it is. Now it is. And it's also a fight that is seconds from Yanis. I don't think he got the memo. I don't think he understood that half the Greek team was in here.
He lacks critical information, I think. And it might be that he's going to die.
He was in the wrong Discord at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly. Koho spots out some of the Greek players. He's actually behind enemy lines. He's the solo player. We've seen this multiple times before where Koho's been kind of on his own.
Is Yanis and MJO trying to just bait them and like kind of waste their time? Because look at the players on the northern side. These Greek players have been handled right now, and none of the people down south are doing anything about it.
Yeah, it looks like they've got 2 knocks and a flush already, and that's all from Memo and Chris there.
They need to engage right now. All the Greek players, they need to push up from Dino Park and engage. And you can see they're taking their time, and right now their fellow countrymen are being completely slaughtered.
Yeah, Chinjay's decided to push back towards the town of I can't even see what that is actually. Movatra, all the way over towards the western coast, and they're not really doing it. They're just going to go into the town and kind of sit there and let their teammates get kind of slaughtered.
Playing for late game.
Yeah.
Playing for late game. They realized that they're dead. I think the call was, make it out, guys, if you can. If you can't, then take as many down with you as possible. And in all fairness, they have killed a few. They're only down by 2 right now. So if Stefanos and Skolito and I think it's Gibbet, Gibbet making their way out. If they can make their way down there, then who knows? Maybe they'll be able to stay safe.
Yeah, here we go. Is the majority of players in Movatra there. Chris just popping some shots off at Goods. And they're still, I mean, I guess now Greece kind of has majority control in a sense, but they are, three down in terms of actual numbers. But
this is why they're left, though, as you can see.
Yeah,
look at this position.
It does make sense, and if they can kind of spread out, if the players on the northern side of the Greece team can kind of give them information to say, look, there is no German players inside the circle right now. Take as much space as you can and spread out and really just cut off their access. Then this could be big.
If you look at the field where Blessed and Magebane are, and look over towards the German forces, there's so much open terrain that the Germans will have to fight their way through if they want to get a spot in the circle. Now it seems like they're rotating north around. And actually, despite the fact that they lost some players, they did manage to take 4 down with them, which, to me, means that they did it on purpose. They said, you guys waste the Germans' time while we reposition, and hopefully you'll be able to either kill a lot of them or make it out alive yourself.
That does make sense, yeah. I think you could be right there. Looks like the Germans are making some sort of a long rotation around the northern side, which I feel like a good counterplay since they realised that the majority of their team is not inside the circle yet, and they're being cut off. So there we go. Yeah, this is a big pull up here. Stevanos, I don't
they're
think they
still trying to make their way back to their teammates. They've been on the run for a while now, and they're getting hunted.
Yeah, they don't have any idea that Stevanos is actually in here, so he could get 1 or 2, but it's gonna be tough for him. If he can get 2, then that's perfect. That's, he's done his job. I feel like.
Yeah, he does have the extended mag MP5, and some say that's the best weapon in the game.
It is a very good gun. Flash comes out. There we go. Tripson goes down. So he's got 1 at least. He's going to throw a molly. Smart move. That cuts off the access.
I like the push. I like the play. The idea of trying to see if we can get a kill from that angle. Unfortunately, so not the case.
Yeah, unfortunately, he goes down.
We went 1 for 1 though. So not the worst that could happen.
Yeah, he might get 1 with the molly. No,
I highly doubt.
Imagine
push into it.
Yeah, but actually, it looks like Greek is actually pushing on the northern side there. So interestingly enough, that kind of distraction from Stevanos did do something at least.
I'm not sure exactly why 3 players from Greece are that far to the west. At this point, 3 players could be the difference maker in terms of whether you win or not. Jinjae gone down. Metal Winds goes down as well. Right now, there's a lot of Germans killing a lot of Greek players.
Yeah, lots of black, red, and yellow in the kill feed, I guess, in a sense. And lots more to come, I imagine. Kane popping off some shots with M16. For level 3 as well. I guess, you can loot level 3 helmet in Vikendi, so not that I like it, but it is an option. Lots of smokes coming out. Res is coming through for Germany, and now, I guess the control is still slightly in terms of cell control, it is slightly in the Greeks' favour. But you see, there's
about 5 though.
Yeah, there's about 3 sort of Greeks kind of up to the north, west as well. So they might cause some issues.
Just for fun, the sneaky snake who tried to make his way in from behind, he's going to be chopped down by 4 players now. It's it's a pretty even split. You can see Kygar trying to make his way around, but I think he's been seen, and indeed he has. Gecko not able to find the knock-on towards him though.
That's tough stuff, but looks like Kygar's out in the blue as well. The blue's moving pretty fast. Yeah, I guess he's kind of scouting, but he might just cost his life there.
He was the one that pushed towards Rosok last game too, so maybe he's the designated info gatherer for the team. Unfortunately, this time around he stays alive.
Yeah, you could be right there. But Pilobi just trying to scout some of his own, trying to see what he can see.
But it's wild to see how much Germany commits to just a couple of players. Look at how they pushed out. With this in mind, if you're another team captain and sits and watches this, send have 2 or 3 expendable players go, woohoo, we're over here, force them into a direction you want them to go to, and then you can pin them in. Then you can surprise attack them with your main force. Yeah. To me, they put way too much into trying to find these 2 players.
Yeah, I think they're kind of prying on the fact that this is going to be a very sort of disjointed kind of communication style. So if one player says, there's players on the right, and everyone's like, oh, right side, okay, let's go right, and then everyone goes right, and then it's kind of like, there's only 2 guys there, and it kind of distracts the whole team. You see, that's pulled over about 10 players from the centre pack.
They pretty much only have 6 players that aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
All the way over there.
So I would like to see Greece take advantage of this somehow if they can, but honestly, I don't really know how they could.
No, they're down by 5 players. It's still not over. Mageman does get knocked now as well. The rest should be able to come in. He is in between all the teammates.
Shackman. He's actually mullered it. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Nice play from Kai and Breaks. They get the flush shot to that one. So still, it's wow, the circle.
This is yours to win, I guess. If they want to win this game and close it out, the Greek players, they got to do it now, because they were up 2-0. Then Germany gets 1. If they get a chance to tie it at 2, they will have so much momentum carrying over into the final game that if you're a Greek player, if you're the captain, there's so much pressure on that one person who's making these decisions. And if you lose 2 in a row after having just won 2 pretty impressive wins as well, then who knows? Maybe you're not up for the final game, and your decision making is kind of swayed by it.
Yeah, it could be right there for sure. I think I'm looking at the map as well, and it looks like there's a large push towards the western side. They're kind of pushing around the short side of the circle for the Germans anyway, sorry. They're kind of pushing on to sort of give it and Miscalito as well. Over towards this western side. Scalito gets one, attacks, goes down. Sorry, Kygod, sorry, goes down, and see if they can find some sort of return knock onto Scalito.
It's gonna be proning it out for now. Vehicles are coming in. Oh, that's two of them. Should be able to get the info across at least. Oh, all the German players coming out here. Pretty much the entirety of G2 pushed out of there. That's their ultimate strike force. They all have level 3 helmets too, as you can see, and they are on point.
Yeah, this is an absolute cluster here. Germany pulled up, and it looks like Greece is trying to take the fight to it. Greece, only 16 players, sorry. 21 for Germany as well. Greece have finally got 10 kills. And Germany, they've only got 21 alive now.
They are kind of sort of catching up to them, but at the same time, they are taking a lot of casualties. As you can see, the German players constantly trying to push underneath. Nice play from Blessed there to get some damage done. Mopsy does go down. I mean, I don't think we have to go into specifics with who's fighting who, because everyone's fighting each other right now.
It's so hard to even keep track of it. I mean, so as soon as you get knocked there as well.
But there are 4 players from Greece that aren't there with their teammates, and this is why I'm thinking, like, why? It's the same thing as with the last game. We saw 3 or 4 players that stayed up the hills. Why are they not pushing with them? Why are they not running over to try and help their teammates?
Yeah, I'm quite confused. Yeah, there's 3 of them just kind of out the open, and they're just like they're letting their teammates kind of get bombarded by the German players.
I think they're trying to prevent a backstab, but it's just not really working at all. I think all the players up the hills are now pretty much dead.
Yes.
All knocked. Yep, they're all dead. And now it's just those 3 on the other side of the road left remaining.
Yeah, 5 players up for Greece. It's not looking pretty.
Ow.
Yeah, I mean, no, they do get one. So
3v18.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I mean, is Mage Main live just on the southwestern side here? Or
no, he's dead.
I think so.
He is dead. He's dead.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, he just died there.
It is 3v. 2v18.
Yeah,
like that.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough stuff. We'll see if they can, I don't know,
1v8.
do some damage, but honestly, it's too little too late, I think.
It's like, what can we do? 2 alone versus 18 players. Nothing's gonna happen. Germany's gonna bring home yet another one. 2-2. All of a sudden, we're going into the final match.
I mean, I'm surprised to say the least, to be honest with you. I would have thought that Greece could have pulled it out the bag and done something there, just to try and finish it out. But yeah, nonetheless.
I would have thought a PO5 that goes into 5 games.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before.
No,
I mean, it's probably happened, just not the games we've casted.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen Turkey just smash it and then
Yeah.
come in here, and I say it's kind of even, but then again, it hasn't really been that even. If you like, it's been one-sided on every kind of game, but in each way. True. But then again, I suppose once you get like a few kills, then it's kind of a landslide after that, because you just have the number advantage, and that just plays such a massive factor in these games.
That is true. I think when we move over to Sanok now, it's gonna be very favored by who sets in the circle.
Yeah,
we've seen twice now that Germany kind of fight their way through it. Last game it was more maybe Greece pushing into a situation where they shouldn't have, or maybe pushed it differently. This time around, Greece prioritized the circles, and Germany was hunting them all the way through, and they actually, ended up winning because of it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's going to be it for Vikendi. We're going to go on a short little 5-minute break before we get into the last game of the series here against Greece and Germany. On to Sanok next.
been feeling like a man out of time. I've been staring into space to get in tune. I've been waiting for the sand to fall behind. I've been looking for a face inside the moon. I've been looking for a faith to lead the faithless. Caught slipping trying to catch the speed of light. Every time I try to make a way out of my lateness, pulled over, got somebody reading me right. Cause we've been chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in a upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Falling overboard, catch me off the side. Or maybe you just missed it when you close your eyes. Life goes in an instant, one hell of a ride. If you don't go for fiction, I'll get caught up in the lies while you was chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in a upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. False starts like roll it in the dark like stutter steps last breath. Staring in the void, feeling paranoid, thinking if you fall, you won't make a noise. Off of opioid, man, you got a droid, at least you got a phone. Fucking humanoid, why you xenophobe? Why you so annoyed? Why you tripping out? Who made you devout? Why we go this route? Can you do without? If you look within, here we go again. Hands inside the vehicle, you mad cause it's autonomous. You thinking you anonymous, but we upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. 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 Vai na fé, vai atrás do que você quer. Quem tá na missão sabe bem o que é. Gasta a sola do pé, nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não mudar a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultiva aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e põe defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro.
So Germany coming in with the win there to sort of even up the scores. So going on to the last 5th match on Sanok. Now we saw obviously we saw Greece kind of take it to them in the first 2 games and hold the high ground as they love to do, and now there's an even sort of balance and
thought.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen on the Sanok because there isn't that much high ground, to be fair.
It depends on what island you're on.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised to see Germany have what it takes to bring that back from a 0-2 essentially to now a tied 2 to potentially full on reverse sweep it, because I mean Greece looked pretty dominant in the first 2 games.
Yeah, I don't know what they changed or what happened or how they maybe that school crash just kind of like just messed with their heads. They were just like they're just overthinking it. I don't know. Probably not. I doubt it. But
maybe they're just better on Erangel.
Who? Germany?
No, I mean Greece, but they kind of messed up with that crashing into school.
Yeah. The sort of the school crash kind of messed around with it. But leaderboard after game 4, this is just the leaderboard of the score, the kills overall throughout the 4 games, and Hackjack on top with 8 on Germany.
Only Sora 94.
Oh, come on. Chop, let's go.
I believe.
Yes, I believe.
With the gun fodder.
Just camp, alright? Just camp.
Just camp it out.
Sit in a corner, get that kill, be on the board. Don't come out, come out of this with a donut, please.
Now, who gets boot camp control?
Ooh, interesting.
And who prioritizes the Western Island? Because if you go towards that mountain island in the west, and the circle goes there, you would argue that would be a free win.
You think so? Yeah. With like, it's so hard to control that northwestern hill with the duo. A squad, it's slightly easier, but 32 players. I imagine that's going to be a complete and utter domination from the hills there.
Should be somewhat doable. Now let's see. The plane is in the air, and we are just about ready to head on over to the final game here of the 3rd round between Greece and Germany.
There we go, up in the air, and I wonder who's going to jump off first. Okay, so everyone's going to jump off first. Everybody's going to go to hat in. No, I mean, I would love to see it. I think the whole of Germany
sticks west, yeah.
Yeah. So the whole of German, the German squad is out.
The entire German team insta jump. No, that's not true.
Oh,
they're
no.
jumping out still.
Oh, it's baited completely. So it looks like they're going to go towards I say they're going to go towards the western side, but then again, you've got a few. You've got like Rax and Gideon that's going over towards east, although
so Greece is just prioritizing main island.
Yeah,
Eastern island. They're just saying, you know what, we'll go east. That's fine. We'll give them the west side, and then we'll go over here. Seems like guess who forgot to jump out? Oh, he's there. He's gonna get doxed to himself.
Yep, solid stuff. Looks like, I mean, there's a few sort of slightly closer players, although I mean you can't really tell exactly how close they are because some could be miles up in the air and then some could be just landing. But Michael looks like he might be going for the same compound as one of the other Greek players.
Yeah,
just on the southern side there.
Look how much the Germans are actually pushing the Greek players out towards the east.
Yeah, it's
interesting. They get much more control. And that's an interesting circle. Remember that the circle settings are a bit different from our super settings. So
that's true.
We don't necessarily have that land ratio shift on phase 4.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, on Sanok it would be phase 3 technically, but
yeah.
The fact that we don't have any land ratio,
I'm not sure if we don't, but I just don't think we do.
Yeah, so this could turn out to be a pretty interesting sort of split across the islands here.
All 3 islands are in, and they can technically go to all 3 of them.
That is true. That is very, very true. Obviously, I mean, a higher chance going to sort of either northwest or mainland at least. But Mike, he has dropped into. Oh, Sora, no! All right, just sit.
He got it.
Yeah,
I have faith.
Just sit here and kind of just camp it. All right, don't move a muscle.
You heard him. It's the last Greek player to get a kill.
He's running away. No,
he's not. He's sticking around. It's the last Greek player to get a kill. Sora 1994.
Yeah.
Is that the year you were born?
No, 1993.
Ah.
Yeah. One. Well, he's slightly older than me. No, younger. What am I saying? But yeah, it looks like Micah. I mean, I don't know if he's running away or if
he's looting. He's looting.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to get more gear. I mean, Sora doesn't have a helmet either.
You can see how much Sora wants this kill too. Like he is full on committing for the I'm gonna find him
Ooh, the crossover. No bullets.
Shooting early.
Oh, no. No bullets connected there. The shots come in, though, and Micah doesn't look phased at all. He's not even bothered. He's like, yeah, okay.
I'm just going to keep looting.
Yeah.
Look at the tattoos, the big beard, the cool haircut.
He's got the
Micah doesn't have a helmet either, to be fair.
Maybe
So
it
it's
is on.
pretty even. It's a pretty even duel.
Yeah, that's true. So the first one to hit the headshot, I think.
No one seems to be wanting to
With
help
this one
either
out.
of them.
No, I think
This is their fight.
Yeah, this is their fight. Their own little fight, and no one can spoil it for them.
Oh, there's the helmet. That could be the
Okay,
difference
yeah.
maker.
Definitely, that's for sure. Sora's holding like a slight sort of off angle as well, in a sense of like, if Micah comes out the door, I don't think he'll see him straight away.
Mm.
But then if he overextends slightly, if Sora knows this, he'll just kind of fully peek it, and that'll be it for Micah, I feel.
It's also, it's just the fact that there's 32 on each team. You've got to be expecting that there will be more people coming.
Yeah, you would think so.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
Oh,
spotted.
no.
Oh, that's a nade. Nade comes out. He knows he's on the wall there. This could be.
Too short?
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, massively overcooked.
Aw.
Yeah. So.
They just went FK to DM him
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a second there. Just lul.
Lul.
Leave again and
Wrecked.
flush him. Seems like the Greek players have kind of made an agreement on where they want to go here.
Yeah. It looks like they're going
No.
towards the northern side, and there's a whole group of players on the bridge here. Here we go, Kane. Oh my lord. Pepe Le Pew does go down as well, but looks like two of them get through. So
Did they throw
Philip-
Molotov on the bridge?
Yeah.
I don't think that works.
No,
does
I think it does do damage on the vehicle. I'm pretty sure. Like if you're inside the vehicle, it does do damage. I think. It looks like to be honest with you, like it's not a bad fight to take for Greece. I'm surprised they're crossing over though. To be fair,
I'm surprised they're not hitting them with the vehicles.
that's true. That is
And
true.
I'm even more surprised that they're crossing one bike, 15-second break, one bike,
Yeah.
15-second break. If you want to make this crossing, you damn better do it all together.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. If you're gonna make this cross, you send everyone over this bridge.
Throw a billion smokes and then you just full on send it.
Yeah. Put
Not
like
this losing 5 players for no reason.
put like a wall of smokes across the edge of the end of the bridge, and then just send all your vehicles. So all the Germans can hear is like this rumbling of vehicles, and then suddenly boom, they just rush out the smoke, and
You have like 2 scouts run up and throw smokes everywhere.
Yeah.
And then everyone just comes plowing on through.
That'd be hilarious to watch. But it looks like this is the kind of the fight they want to take. But to be fair, as I said earlier, it's not guaranteed it's going to go to Northwest.
True.
So this could turn over to be a pretty good hold for Greece. Although they're going for it again on the bridge. You can see that already.
When the German team has Fainan, they have the compound on the the tri compound that connects it all.
Yeah.
Where is Philopy going?
They're just
We
kind of
talk-
sending it.
I talked about the whole giving up. type thing.
Oh.
Wait, he flew over him.
No way. That's like a meta spot right there. That's a spot you want. Wow, that's
He
impressive.
actually flew over him.
Got players jump off the bridge as well.
They're all flying
Again.
over him.
This is not
he's gonna lead himself
insane
now.
spot. Is that? Oh no,
Oh no!
that wasn't.
Oh no!
Just for fun, Nate. Just for fun. That wasn't very fun, was it? To be honest with you.
I liked it. It was fun content. But what's with the commitment?
I have no idea. But
Oh, well, half of because it wasn't a commitment. Greece has been playing so smart the previous season, so good decision making across the team, and I don't know. It just seems like this final game here.
yeah, they're just kind of like I wouldn't say throwing, but they're throwing.
They are essentially. I mean, they're alive still. They're only down by 3, so
Yeah,
everything
okay.
considered, they've actually kind of made a lot of a bad situation. But the way they executed this, had it done what they did just now, but with everyone and earlier, they would have been in a much better situation. Now the circle goes south. So what they're fighting for, what they've lost so many players trying to get, is essentially worthless.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the point being is there's so many players. I mean, there's like, what is that? That's like 6 or 7 players kind of split off on the southern side, and they're not even part of this fight at the moment. So technically, it is a very fair fight in terms of numbers. But yeah, Germany have majority control of the circle now since the shift came in, and Saint just kind of roaming through Hatin and just taking out as many players as he can.
Down by 6, probably a few more. You can count the knock players in there too. Omega finds a double knock actually on towards both Finn and Scolito. There's a third one over on the side. Finn shoot us. Omega shoot us. He's taking his share of the work.
Yeah, he's probably defending a good nade actually. He takes down Guz, so not really. I mean, yeah, they're still trying to push across this bridge, and I mean,
And it's suicide. They're 12 against 21 now.
yeah, it's super tough. They are
locked down on the bridge too.
yeah, they are 9 down in terms of numbers.
Looking at
pure
this,
numbers.
you'd think Greece didn't want to win the game.
Yeah,
It sounds dumb because I know they would want to. I know Jinjae is a very competitive guy, very nice guy, and they made a bad play.
yeah. To put it bluntly, I think it's just a pure sort of kind of send it and hope for the best and see what happens. You know.
That was a bad play. Chris spots Pullman. I think, yep, he's going to try and retreat back down the hill. What more can he do from here, though? I'm not quite sure. Seems like the XTR will be able to get the rest on up towards his teammate. And right now, well, they need every single player they can get.
Yeah, definitely. That's a definite important res there. Chris, he's on the play. Ooh, nice spray from Dexter there. That's the...
Good
That's
night,
impressive.
PL player.
Yeah, just
Get wrecked.
outgunned. Definitely. Solid stuff. And he's probably getting flushed out as well. So slowly but surely picking off a few German players. That's the captain there.
Yeah.
Down and out, it seems. Hackerjack with that one. Gimme.
Frustrations pouring on out. We're down to 9 players, I believe, if we count up the knocks as well. 9 versus 21, and they're all caught not only on, well, in a small area, but also almost outside the circle. This, to me, is not going to happen, and I think we'll see. For me, I know that I think Spain got clean sweeped against as well when they were up 2-0 early in the group stage. I'm not sure how they've been doing the lower bracket, but I'm pretty sure they got they got turned around on, like we see here, and in all fairness, I mean, really impressive by Germany to sit on through the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been that Germany needed some sort of information before they actually made some kind of sound strategy and understood what was happening. So,
Maybe.
but I mean, to be honest with you, it seems like they're just playing the same way. But Greece definitely isn't.
Yeah, Greece, I think they like their powerhouse strategy, and it's worked before. I just think this time around, A, they're up against a really good team. B, they didn't commit to it.
No, yeah.
They did not fully commit to their aggression, which, I mean, if you want to make it... We see it so many times in squad games and whatnot, when teams try to push compounds, when they try to cross the military bridges and all that stuff. If 3 of the players are doing what they're supposed to, and last guy, oh, wait, let me just use my booster real quick, or, oh, should I hold the window? I thought I was supposed to run around the corner. Like, if you don't coordinate these things, it's just not going to work. And look at boot camp. They even got the circle back towards the island.
Yeah, well, that's...
There was no need to cross that bridge to begin with.
No, there was not at all. So, well, I mean, it is hindsight, but at the same time, it was possible to go anywhere, really. So there was no need to commit to the bridge push.
I liked it for the sake of content. It was hilarious, but
Yeah.
it just... if you're a team that wants to increase its eliminated...
Not quite. No, not just yet. It's still there. Yeah.
Maybe they jinxed it now and they will win.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
5 on 19 as one player is knocked.
Easy for Pullman.
Shooty's knocking
You
his
see,
own
they're
teammates.
shooting their teammates now. This is perfect. They're trying to give them a chance to win here.
Oh, they're turning on each other.
Yeah,
This
they've
is great.
infiltrated the German defense. I don't think that.
They're now posing as Germans and
Oh, that's what it is.
killing them off.
Dude. Like, they're reaching out to them in the DMs. Dude, if you kill your teammates now, I'm going to give you like $5.
Yeah. That's how you win.
See, even MJ is looking up towards his teammates. Dance.
Yep.
Just might as well dance it through.
Yeah,
Pullman,
you did.
down he goes. All of them eliminated, and Germany does the impossible. Turns a 0-2 into a 3-2. Impressive.
Yeah, just a complete turnaround there, and I mean, Greece kind of threw that apart essentially.
They did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Malaka. I think that's what they're saying. I know that from Assassin's Creed.
Is that how that works?
I think it's a swear word, but since GLL production doesn't understand it, then it's okay.
But yeah, it's just kind of strange how Greece kind of changed from being this cohesive unit, just kind of moving around the map in different areas and holding the high ground, and then they're just like, let's send it.
I mean, I like the idea again, but it's like trying to fit an elephant through a mouse hole or whatever you say.
Yeah.
You just can't be effective trying to fit that many people plowing on through either into the school gate or across a bridge with. I mean, had it at least been a bridge on Erangel, these bridges are more narrow. There's a lot more cars and obstructions on the middle of the road too. You can't really just do that whole full speed straight send it. You have to left, right, and if you have 16 vehicles on the bridge at the same time, they will crash into each other. Teams will be forced to stop, and then you have 15 players on the other side shooting at you at the same time. It's just not gonna happen.
No, exactly. And I feel like at the same time that these choke points, as the bridges, these choke points are so kind of obvious in terms of you just don't cross it, you just don't do that, because there's so many players on the German side and they've landed on that side. There's no way they're not gonna hold the bridge.
They were shooting at each other before too. They were shooting at each other for a while. Yeah, and then they go, guys, I think they're looking away now. Go.
And then you have players proning on. That's a really good strat, by the way. That's a solid idea. Proning under the ridge of the bridge, and everyone just flies over them. Unless you go not full speed, then
maybe they booped him.
Yeah, I mean, just skimmed his head, gave him a haircut or something. But I think the brackets are ready, so we'll see what happens in terms of how that works. And there we go. Yeah, so Germany does go ahead, and they will face Finland. Wow, that'll be an absolute battle of the big boys there. I think
that's gonna be good.
We've got Team Breaksco against Team Mikaz, I think, right?
Russia beat Ukraine as well, so they'll be going up against the winner of Turkey and Croatia. Oh, Turkey against Russia, that could be a good one. Could be a good one. All right,
I'm excited for that one. Yeah, but that's how that works, and. I think what we'll probably see is I don't know exactly how Finland and Germany. I don't know how Finland play.
Lower bracket too.
I hope we get to see the lower bracket because that's what we've got next, isn't it? Right?
That's what Denmark was. That's all I care about. That's where UK should be as well, right?
I think we're out though.
Are you already
I'm not
eliminated?
sure. I'm not actually sure.
You went.
Yeah. So
you went down to you lost to Portugal, and then I don't know how they did in lower bracket.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Portugal smashed Spain, by the way, so that's interesting to see.
Yeah, they got 1-2 or whatever you call it. They got reverse swept by.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Impressive.
That's right. Yeah. Apparently, it seems like we might be having the lower bracket next.
Yeah.
And what we will have is either I think it was Ukraine either versus Serbia or France. That's what I had in my ear.
Ukraine versus Serbia or France.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no Denmark.
No. Apparently not.
I guess that means they're out then.
Maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is a best of 3 though. So obviously lower bracket, it's kind of like a elimination thing. So if
then we actually get to proper veto.
Yeah,
because we get to eliminate maps.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any Sanoko for Vikendi, to be honest with you.
I could imagine Vikendi, to be fair. I could imagine Vikendi. It's a good for this. You have a lot of big playing areas. You have a lot of trees to cover around, mountains you can rotate around the back of. I actually don't think Vikendi is as bad as you make it sound.
I think also you could play as playing into the hand out of the hands of the enemy. So you
only have one river and it goes straight north to south.
Yeah.
So if you know what island, what side you're on, then it's pretty straightforward. You don't have all those annoying obstructions.
Yeah, true. I suppose. Nonetheless, though, that's it from us. We're going to go into a short little break of however many minutes. I'm not exactly sure.
It's going to say on the screen somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to say somewhere, probably up here after we've finished here. But be back in just a moment, in just a bit, for the lower brackets best of 3 versus either Ukraine versus some other one, France or Serbia, I think, and that'll be that. So yeah, we're back in just a second.